In this video, we're going to go over some cool options for scaling corners and strokes. When I first found out about this option, I was able to save tons of time and get way better results. So whenever I create icons, I want to keep the line thicknesses equal on all of them. But when I'm scaling entire objects, I generally want the lines to scale with them. So in this example, I will go into the polygon tool and I'm going to start with a triangle because I'm going to create an alert icon. And so I'll open up the corner widget and I'm going to round out these corners a little bit and create an exclamation mark, which I'm going to place inside it. Now if I scale this right now, it's going to make a little bit of a mess, you can see. It doesn't scale right. Part of that is because it's not scaling these corners. It's keeping them at that same radius that I set them at. But what I can do is go to the transform panel and Windows transform, and then I can roll out the show. There's a show options in the panel menu, and then I can hit scale corners, and what this does is allows me to scale this and the corners will scale right with it. But as you can see, there's another problem I'm having where the stroke, it's not scaling. It's the same width, and that's not something I want. Say in this case, I want the stroke to be 3 points of thickness. And if I want it to stay proportional, I'll just check the scale strokes and effects, and then I can scale it down completely proportionally so they're going to stay the same. So there are a lot of things that you can do with this that make it a lot easier to work with. The other thing I'm going to show you in this video is how to create dynamic halftone patterns. So I'm going to select these and delete those, and I'm often creating a lot of t-shirt artwork, and that's a great way for me to create shades and things when I'm creating single color artwork for t-shirts, because I can add some different shadows and things with gradients. So what I'm going to start with is a shape, and I don't want it straight black because that's going to be solid black, but I'm just going to create a mid-gray and then go under effects, and in the pixelate menu I'm going to go to color halftone. Now make sure all the colors in the channels, all the channels are different colors. Channel 4 is black and white. And so that's the only one that I want. I want probably 45 degrees, so it'll be angled diagonally. And then check the radius. That's the size radius for the largest circles are going to be. And now you hit OK, and you can see what it does is it creates this halftone pattern. And when I change the color of the box, it's going to thin the dots out, or when I make it darker, it's going to put them closer together. What I can also do is use a gradient pattern, and it's going to change the size of these depending on the gradient, which is really nice for creating nice smooth gradients on t-shirt artwork or things like that. Once I have it the way I want, you can, and you can always go out, it's all non-destructive, you can go into the appearance and always change the size. Say you want some bigger dots, you can increase the radius, and now some of those dots are going to be bigger. And say I like that how it is, I can go up to Object and expand Appearance, and that rasterizes it. And so you'll use Image Trace, and sometimes you have to mess with the settings on Image Trace a little bit, but generally it'll trace these out as perfect circles. If you, but you can see how they get a little bit distorted up here, and so I'll generally go up to the options for my image tracing and increase some of these to get better circles. And then once you expand that, you have a nice set of halftone dots that can be easily used for a lot of different applications or uses.